Hey guys, welcome to The Reality Pill, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of modern dating culture. And of course, here's your meme of the day. Make it make sense, folks. They beg for the nice guy, they pray for the nice guy, but the second the nice guy shows up, suddenly he's boring and lacks a spark. You literally cannot make this stuff up. You know, the thing that blows my mind about these people, and by these people I mean modern women navigating the dating market, is how absolutely contradictory they can be. They spend their entire 20s running through the bad boys, the thugs, the guys who treat them like options, and then they turn around and scream, "Where are all the good men?" It's unbelievable. I mean, the lack of self-awareness is just mind-boggling. They want the safety of a traditional husband, but they have the impulse control of a teenager. They want a man who builds the world for them, but they refuse to even make him a coffee. And you know what? They're finally saying the quiet part out loud. Let me show you guys exactly what I mean by that. We got some stuff to get into today that is going to make your blood boil. So let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so let's start right at the source of the rot. We got a young woman here who is essentially exposing the entire female psyche in under 60 seconds. She's sitting here complaining about how her life would be easier if she liked nice guys. But listen to what she actually admits. She doesn't want peace, she wants chaos.
Fuck, man, I think about it sometimes and I'm like, my life would be so much easier if I just liked nice guys, right? If I liked guys who were honest, guys who were kind, generous, thoughtful man who's gonna bring me flowers or something. I don't know. You know, I liked guys who just went out of their way and thought about me. The bare minimum. If I just liked guys who gave me the bare minimum, that would be fucking awesome. But I am a little bit more below than that, right? I like liars. I do. I'm gonna admit it. I like men who are assholes. Men who are gonna treat me like shit. I do. I like men who are gonna go out of their way to make me jealous. And then they come back and I'm like, babe, why'd you do that? I like to feel something because I'm a pretty happy person, pretty peaceful person on my own. So when I have a guy come in and fuck up my life and make me feel something, I'm like, I love this. I love this. This is so shitty and great. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Okay, I didn't ask for this life. I didn't choose this life. This life chose me. Okay, I didn't ask my dad to leave. He just fucking did.
Give me a freaking break. I didn't choose this life. This life chose me. Oh, spare me the victim mentality. You are actively choosing to be a dumpster fire. She says it right there. I like men who treat me like trash. This is what we have been telling you brothers for years. They say they want a nice guy. They say they want stability, but their biology screams for the guy who is going to wreck their life. She's literally telling you that peace is boring. She needs anxiety to mistake it for passion. And then 10 years from now, when she's a single mom with baggage from 3 of these assholes, she's going to look at you, the accountant, the engineer, the hardworking man, and ask why you won't step up and pay for another man's mistakes. It is absolute clown world behavior. Now let's break this down. She claims that she's a peaceful person on her own. No, you're not. If you were peaceful, you would value peace. You're addicted to the drama. You're addicted to the emotional roller coaster. And obviously, here's the problem. These women spend their prime years chasing feelings. They chase the tingles. They let the toxic guys run up the mileage, and then once they are damaged, traumatized, and used up, they decide it's time to find a provider. But that's not the only absurd part about this. While they are chasing these toxic losers, look at the standards they set for the men who actually have their lives together. The entitlement is off the charts, and of course, it's not just her. This isn't happening in a vacuum. While one girl is chasing liars, the next one is demanding you be a millionaire just to get a text back. We got a dating coach here, giving advice that essentially guarantees you will die alone with your cats. Listen to this entitlement.
Never date a man who's making less money than you. Never date a man who's less successful than you. Never date a man that is not your type, because I promise you, if he checks 1 or 2 or 3 of those boxes, he will always try to humble you. He will always make you feel less than, inferior to him. I have personally experienced it, and I've seen other people experience it, so always date up. You're a woman that invests in herself mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically. You go to the gym, you take care of yourself, you make your own money, you pay your own rent. Date up. Always date up. Date a generous man, but date up. It's a hard truth, but it's a truth that you guys just need to hear.
Date up, always date up. There it is. The hypergamy is on full display. She says, date a generous man, translation, date a man whose resources I can extract. She talks about investing in herself because she goes to the gym and pays her own rent. Congratulations, you're an adult. You want a cookie for paying your bills? You think paying your own rent makes you a prize? That is the baseline for being a functioning human being in society. But she wants a man who makes more, does more, and provides more. And what does she bring? Attitude and requirements.
But it gets even worse. It's not just about the money. It's about the absolute delusion regarding what they think they are worth in the marketplace. They want the CEO. They want the traditional provider. But God forbid you ask them for a simple, low-stakes first date to see if you even like each other. Check out this woman from London. She is apparently too good for coffee.
One thing I don't understand is when guys ask me out on a coffee date or ask me to go do a workout, it's like, no, I can take myself to coffee. I can also take myself to work out and I'm in great shape. I don't even have time to get coffee with my own girlfriends, let alone some guy I don't know. When I get DMs like that, I just don't even open them anymore. I'm just like, in what world would I want to go for coffee? Like, London is so busy. Just like, step it up, London. Step up your game, London guys.
Step it up, London guys. Who do you think you are? Seriously, you're a stranger on the internet. A man offering to buy you a coffee is offering you his time and his resources to get to know you. But because it's not a $200 dinner, it's an insult. This is why men are checking out. This is why the passport bros exist. Because why would I deal with this attitude? Why would I deal with a woman who thinks she is the prize just for existing, when I could go somewhere where women actually appreciate a man's effort? You can take yourself for a coffee? Good, keep doing that. Because with that attitude, you're going to be having coffee alone for the next 40 years. And for me, it really begs the question, do they even understand the difference between what men do and what women do? We found this short clip that perfectly encapsulates the difference in value proposition. This is what modern women don't understand about the labor market versus the dating market.
If you ask a girl, can you cook? She will tell you, can you build a house? Because to her, cooking and building a house are on the same level. Cooking, building a house are on the same level to her. What we require a whole agency to do, building a house, is the same as making a sandwich.
Boom, exact freakingly. She asks, can you build a house? Asking for a skill that takes years of trade experience, physical labor, and engineering knowledge. And he asks, can you cook? A basic survival skill? And they think these are equivalent exchanges. The delusion is absolute. They want a man who can move mountains, but they are offended if you ask them to make a sandwich. And the part that kills me is that not only is all this entitlement clearly going on, but eventually the bill comes due. Eventually you turn 30. Eventually the bad boys stop calling because they moved on to the 22-year-olds, and then we get videos like this. We have a 30-year-old woman here listing all the reasons men won't date her. She thinks it's her hobbies. She thinks it's because she's too disciplined. But watch until the end where the mask slips.
I'm 30 years old. Here's why most men won't date me. Well, I think you just told us why, but let's see. I wake up naturally before 6 a.m. No, that's not the reason. I work up 7 days a week. No. I have way too many hobbies. No. I don't watch TV. No. I expect to recommend. No. Inconsistency gives me. No. If someone hurts or disrespects me, I quietly put no. I'm a lover girl to a foot. No. I have a zero tolerance policy for hot and cold. No. I don't entertain cat and mouse games. No. If you spend a lot of time with me, I will convince you that you're capable of everything you've ever dreamed of. How could that be a no? I read you like a book. No. I'm in a different country at least once per quarter. Okay, there we go. Now you're saying the truth. Yeah, that's a massive red flag. I am expensive. Oh, so you're a gold digger. You saved the last two for the actual reason that most men don't want to entertain a 30-year-old expensive woman. Oh, it's because I have a lot of hobbies. No, it's because you're a gold digging.
I'm expensive. There it is. Welcome to the wall. You are 30 years old. You are in a different country once per quarter. Do you know what a high-value man hears when you say that? He doesn't hear cultured. He hears financial liability. He hears never home. He hears high maintenance. She lists all these things. I wake up at 6 a.m. thinking, that's why men are intimidated. No, sweetheart, men aren't intimidated by your wake-up time. We are repulsed by your declaration that you are expensive. We don't want expensive. We want peace. We want loyalty. We want gratitude. And you're offering none of that. But it gets darker. Because what happens when the nice guy actually marries one of these women? What happens when a man actually steps up, provides the safety, provides the stability, and ignores the red flags? Does she appreciate it? Does she become the loyal wife? Or does she destroy him because she's bored?
Oh, disgusted with you right now. You're going to really throw away 10 years over a mistake? I was lonely. You were always at the gym or at work. I did not cheat. I was surviving the neglect that you put me through. And now you want to leave? That is so fucking selfish You're literally abandoning me when I am at my lowest. Sickness and health, brother. Sickness and health. What the fuck? If you want to walk out that door, I'm telling everyone that you were an abusive piece of shit. I'll make the kids know that you left because you couldn't handle a rough patch. You want a divorce? Good luck seeing the girls on the weekends after I tell the judge why I sought comfort elsewhere.
I was surviving the neglect. I didn't cheat. I saw comfort. This is pure evil. There's no other word for it. This is what happens when you marry a woman who cannot take accountability. He was at work, probably providing for her. He was at the gym, staying healthy, and she cheats on him, destroys the family, and then threatens to weaponize the children and call him abusive brothers. This is why you have to vet. This is why you cannot ignore the red flags in their 20s, because this is the monster waiting at the end of the road. And finally, for any women watching who think, oh, I'll just settle down with a nice guy later, or I'm bored in my marriage. Listen to this. This is what happens when you throw away a good man, because you think the grass is greener.
I married the nice guy. The guy who made me laugh. I married the guy who was stable, who didn't yell. I married the guy who wasn't afraid to get down on the floor and play with kids. I married the guy who laughed really loudly, who didn't seem to care if anybody was watching. I married the guy who was soft with me, who listened to me on the phone for hours. I married the nice guy. I married the nice guy when I was 23 years old. I married the guy who'd come from a family who felt like life is hard. We're not going to make it easy on you. And what's funny is he married the nice girl, the girl who did everything to please somebody else, who molded herself to be the epitome of what other people wanted me to be. He married the girl that said, yes, let me show up and do more. He married the girl who said, I have absolutely no needs. None. Why would I have needs when I can show up and take care of you? He married the girl who said, I am low maintenance. Just like one of the guys. I'll sit and watch sports with you for hours. You need to watch a rom-com? No, I'm good. It's okay. We'll do this. We'll do what you want to do. 20 years later, after realization after realization, after year, realizing this isn't what I signed up for. This isn't what I thought marriage was going to be. The struggles that we've had aren't getting any better. They just seem to be replicating themselves and getting worse. I started looking around at my kids and seeing children who needed more from their parents. I married the nice guy, and he married the good girl. And 20 years later, we're 5 months separated, working through some of the hardest parts of marriage. Because it would be easy for me to say, I'm done. We're calling it quits. There's been too much hurt. There's been too much pain. There's been too many conversations that have ended in, yes, I will do this. Yes, I want that. And very little action to show for it. After 3 years of growth for myself, the biggest takeaway I can give you now is work on you. There is nothing more important than relearning the safety skills that we needed to learn to show up better in a partnership. Because while we were raised by generation after generation that said, life is hard, I'm not going to make it easier on you, that's exactly what we needed. We needed the softness. We needed the care for ourselves. We needed the tools that said, this is how you show up for you first. Because the partnership, a marriage, is not where one person dissolves into the other. It's when two whole people show up and say, I want you to be my anchor through the storm that life will give us. because life's never going to get easier. But the person you pair up with, the person you partner with for life, should make it easier. But when we go into marriage with tools that were broken, that were only really there to protect ourselves from more harm, all we did was learn how to have partnerships that erased your identity, that allowed no space for the two of you to grow together. It left only room for ego. A different marriage means that you need to show up differently for yourself first.
Welcome to reality. She married the nice guy, she had safety, she had stability, she had a man who laughed loudly and wasn't afraid to play with the kids, and she blew it up. Why? Because this isn't what I signed up for. Because she wanted what? More excitement? More drama. Now she's separated, broken the home, and preaching about showing up for yourself. You had a good man, you had a family. But modern women are taught that if they aren't feeling butterflies 24/7, something is wrong. So they destroy the foundation of their lives chasing a feeling. That essentially tells you everything you need to know about modern dating. And so, yeah, brothers, here's what you need to understand. When a woman tells you she finds nice guys boring, believe her, run the other way. Do not try to be the one who fixes her. Do not try to be the safety net she lands on after she's done riding the carousel of toxic dudes. Don't be the nice guy she settles for. Be the man who has standards. If she's expensive, let her pay her own way. If she thinks coffee is beneath her, let her drink alone. Know your worth. You deserve better than being a retirement plan for a woman who spent her best years despising men like you. Let me know in the comments. Have you ever dated a woman who claimed she wanted a nice guy but clearly only responded to toxic behavior? At what age do you think the delusion finally breaks and reality sets in for these women? Or does it never happen? I'll be reading your comments and pinning the best response. If you enjoyed this reality check, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next.